Welcome back to Two Brothers Sports Podcast. It is Wednesday, April 22nd, and we are talking NFL draft. We've got a little bit on some Zurich Classic. We've got a little bit on some NHL and NBA playoffs, Max. It is a great time to be a sports fan. We're off for a week here due to a trip that I was out in Arizona, played some of the most beautiful golf I will probably ever play in my life. And Max, we need to plan a trip out there because between the hiking, the food, and the golf and the weather is incredible. So, how are we doing this week? How's the weekend?
Good man. Yeah, looked like a great trip for you. I went up to Charlottesville, saw Billy Strings. Was a fantastic weekend. Great two shows. So yeah, I'm ready to talk shop as always. We got playoffs for both. Some good golf. It's a little different format here, but I think we got some good plays ahead of us and should be a good week, good weekend.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk Zurich Classic. To your point, it is a little bit different this week. This is the tournament that they do every year at TPC Louisiana, and it is a two-man team tournament. So a fun little break after the RBC signature event and the Masters, of course. So always fun to kind of watch it. Scoring never makes sense for a little bit until they show you this screen and the graphic 14 times, then you finally get it. But should be a good little rotation. I think it's like one day of uh, like individual ball, best ball. I think there's some alternate shot and some scramble in there too. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll see if I can maybe pull it up while we're talking some picks here. That all being said, with the groups, we still have a lot of golfers, but it doesn't mean we necessarily have as many options. So the odds market is a little interesting. A lot of the big dogs are out, but Mr. Matt Fitzpatrick, the RBC winner, is playing with his brother Alex, who also just won his first DP World Tour event a couple weeks back. And so they are coming in red hot, each individually. And of course, you add the brother tandem. We know how that goes. So should be some good stuff there. So I guess I'll just lead with that, Max, is we're gonna do it's basically outrights, T20s, and first round leads. Those are really the only markets they have for this, but I'll just start with what I just said. You taking the Fitzpatrick brothers outright this weekend for Zurich?
I don't hate it at all. I mean, like you said, I think they got some great chemistry. They've both been playing pretty solid, and but I always taking the outright scares me, or the like the
The
number
favorite.
one favorite always scares me. There's a couple others I could see, but I don't hate that at all. It's definitely worth a sprinkle for sure.
Yeah, that is one of my outrights, and that's probably why I led with it. It's obviously the chalkiest one. I've got a couple other ones, one in the middle, kind of, and one at the end. But they're up plus 1150 is hard to ignore when you talk about the form that they're in. So I will be all over that. But Max, give me one or two that you got for this week.
Uh, I'll give you a top 10. Plus 126, Kepka and Lowry.
Hmm.
They're also one that can sneak in there. Obviously, they're second favorite to win at 1550, but I think a top 10 is very, very tasty, especially with that plus money.
Yep, yep. Remind me of that odds again. I know you just said it.
Plus 126.
26 T10. I love that. I definitely eyeing that one there. Um, One that I like, and I'm gonna save it for the end. Uh, but another group with the long shot odds, I really like their T10 as well. One of them, Austin Smotherman, has been playing very good golf recently. Andrew Putnam has also been playing pretty good golf, not crazy good, but Smotherman's got that capability of really, honing in his game, and we've seen him at the end of these big tournaments. So. Give me Smotherman and Putnam T10 at plus 270. Really like that one there.
Okay. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I was trying to find some, it's like it's either it's like Rory and Shane are in it, and you're like, okay, it's got to be Rory and Shane, right? But then you've got years where you've got these random guys who come out of nowhere, not come out of nowhere, but just guys that you didn't expect. I think David Lipsky won a couple of years back. But before you give the next pick, I do have the format real quick. I'm going to read through.
Perfect.
Not that it's going to change our picks, but for the people's Thursday, round one is a four ball best ball, so everyone's playing their own ball. Lowest score on the hole is what counts. And this is all stroke play. Um, Round two on Friday is foursomes alternate shot. Partners play one ball, taking turns till the balls hold. Saturday, round three, four ball, best ball, same thing as Thursday. And Sunday is the foursomes alternate shot. So have an alternate shot on Sunday is going to put some pressure on these guys, which I do like how that's set up. So yeah, like if yeah, Maddie playing well, Alex isn't playing well, you never know. So yeah. All right, next pick.
I mean, I hate to give you another T10, but there's a bunch of juicy ones. I like that guy and Rye with the Gala at plus 158. I think that's a very solid one. Might be a little risky. I think they could kind of be a roller coaster this weekend, but with best ball on Sunday. Well, do they split up at all? Is that how that goes, or
What do you mean? It's 2v2, but on Thursday and Saturday, it's just whoever the hole that counts or the score that counts is whoever's lower between the two.
okay, yeah. So yeah, plus 158 with Aaron Rye and Sahith Theegala. I like that a lot.
I love it. I'm going to be playing their outright at plus 2150. I think both of them playing good golf. Both are consistent. I think that's huge. I think T Tagala sometimes will kind of have some blow up holes, but I think Rye's going to keep him steady. And you have Rye, it's like you play in any other golf tournament. You got a guy who's going to be steady, allows everyone else to swing freely. And I think if Tagala is able to play with less of a chip on his shoulder, I think that's huge for them. So yeah, I'm playing that outright. I love the 158 as well.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't like, or I don't hate that outright at all. Yeah, 21. Okay.
And then let's see, that was one of my picks towards the bottom, but I was already playing the outright, so I was trying to avoid that. I'm gonna go with a T20, but it's a long shot. I'm also gonna be playing sprinkling their plus 5,400 outright. That's Hank Lebioda, and I believe it's Eric Cole. I hope that's who it is. But Lebioda is actually from Louisiana, and the reason I know that is because a friend of mine was college roommates at Florida State with Hank Lebioda. Um, and then he lives in Louisiana as well as Lebioda does. So, one of his better courses, you see his name up here a lot. I think he has won this tournament before. So, Hank Lebioda, Eric Cole, T20 is plus 120. So, I'm obviously going to be playing it multiple ways, but for the sake of plus money on a tournament like this, yeah, give me that plus 120 all day.
Okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's got
Well,
has not won this tournament, but he has a couple top five finishes.
or it's a
Yep.
little insider info.
Yep.
I like that. I hate to be a little chalky, but I'll just give you my outright. At this point, it'll be my last one. Give me Kepka and Lowry at 1550.
Yep. Yep.
Like definitely stay up there, especially well, take that top 10 and then hopefully make good push, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep. No, I'm all over that. Yeah, I really because I feel like they have the capability of just like going off on the first day and then their odds are going to be like plus 500. So getting
Yep.
that odds. So I like that. I don't have any more T10s, T5s, or outrights, but I do have two first round leaders to wrap us up for the Zurich. And one is the most obvious one, and that's the two brothers playing really good golf right now, plus 2350. It is their first round leader is double the odds of what their outright is. Obviously hard to lead around, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where if they just come out firing, I'm gonna be pretty pumped. I got them at 2350. And then another one I like is it's two guys who we see race up the leaderboards, but we don't really ever see them hang on. Uh, and they're both playing together on a team. So I like the option there, and that's Davis Thompson and Austin Eckroat, plus 3,400. Eckroat had a really solid year last year, or it was it might have been the end of the year before, and into last year it hasn't really been as strong as he started his career on the tour. But I don't know, team event, you got guys there. Davis Thompson's capable of going seven under. Eckroat's capable of going seven under, so why not?
Yeah, no, that was actually a duo I was eyeing for top 10 as well, plus 182.
Yep. Yep. I do like that too, because I feel like if you can start out strong, you can just hang on towards the end. But
No, should be an interesting tournament.
yep, yep. And I did just confirm it is Eric Cole. So good there. That's what I thought. I always have to double check with some of the more common last names.
Yeah,
All righty. All right, so moving on to what's next. We've got a little bit of everything here. So we're gonna start with the NHL because Max, I'm gonna have you tell me a little bit in for NBA and NHL. We're just gonna go through what games, if we like anything that's being played on Wednesday today for those listening, and then any series props that we like moving forward, not including the ones that are being played tonight. So there are some games, so Sixers, Celtics. Spurs, Blazers, Rockets, Lakers for NBA, uh, like four games for NHL. So we don't have a lot to pick from, but we know that those odds are going to change by the time you guys listen to this and those games are done. So we're just going to talk Wednesday matchups and any series props, excluding those that you guys can still take by the time you're listening. So that all being said, Max, I have zero things for NHL. I could ask some questions, but I'm going to let you just start while I pull up the odds and just kind of walk through. Maybe start with anything that you like tomorrow in these three matchups.
Yeah, for sure. These Wednesday matchups are going to be pretty solid. We'll start first with Pitt at Philly. We saw Philly kind of, roll over Pitt in Pittsburgh, and they're coming back to Philly right now. Should be interesting. I think Pitt can definitely, maybe do what they did. We've seen it many times, the away team gets the first two, then the other team's like, well, fuck you. We're going to win at your home. Um, I think they're pissed off. I think the Penguins can, keep it tight, keep it close. I love the under 5.5 at plus 102 right now. Um, for that reason, it's been a pretty tight series already. Um, granted, yeah, three nothing Flyers, and then I think the first game was 2-0 or something. So like it a lot. I like that 5.5, and especially that plus money. I think that's very tasty. Um, kind of a pick'ems too. I really don't know. I think Penguins will keep it close, but um, that minus 105 money line is definitely looking at me pretty heavy.
Yep, I'm with that.
Let's see what we got the Stars Wild next. That game last night was pretty good. Definitely, what was it? 4-2 Stars. They're tied up now. Quinn Hughes was rolling around. I think he's a key component in the series. He looks very solid both games. They're back at home in Minnesota. I love that minus 1.5 low key at plus 190. I think it'll be a tight game. Dallas pulls goalie towards the end. They get that extra goal, that garbage time goal, empty netter. I like that a lot. I don't hate the over at all at 5.5. And it's also minus 130. So there is a reason for that. They've been scoring, they've been physical. It's been a very fast series.
Okay, okay.
And then Any questions? Sorry. Just kind of look.
No, no, no. Robertson, is he still on Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I don't really have any props for y'all.
Oh, no, no, you're good. I just was wondering.
Yeah. Um, I definitely say Kaprizov and Rantanen are people to look at for points and stuff for that series.
Okay. All right. And then we got, is Edmonton going to get back?
I think so, dude. It's I feel really bad. I mean, McDavid is such a beast. And he's just gotten so close and hasn't been able to secure it. I think they can definitely get back and get that win, um, or get another win. Sorry, but I think they could steamroll them. I will get back to series odds in a little, but it's minus 198 for a reason. I don't hate that minus 1.5 either for plus 124. Over under kind of scares me. It could definitely be six, and it could definitely be eight or something. Um, I would probably stay away from that, but minus 1.5 Edmonton at plus 124.
Okay. I dig it. All right. Sweet. Okay. Well, it looks like that's it for Wednesday. What are some series features that you're eyeing?
Pulling it up now. Oh, series props. That was team futures. Um, Ones that some of them are kind of looking a little rough. I wouldn't hate to throw a little bit on Penguins right now at plus 310, low key. Um, Really, I don't know. They're all kind of shitty. Um, Wild is plus 100, Stars is minus 120, so that's probably the closest battle you can get to that kind of pick 'em. The other ones are 300. Canes are minus 650 now. So it's kind of a little late. I think if we can squeeze one in before the next round, we can get a little more into that. But I'd say, all right, I'll just say give me Wild plus 100. They're a very nice, young, sneaky team.
Like it. And if you had to pick, just for the sake of it, if you had to pick your finalists right now, don't have to pick a winner, but who's coming out of the East, who's coming out of the West?
Oh, shit. Um, Trying to pull. I don't hate um the Avs, and Canes might Canes might be able to do it again too. Get out of there. Even though that, yeah, clearly those are the two favorites, but I mean that happens for a
Fun
reason.
matchup.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a great matchup. Yeah, I'll say Avs, Canes.
I like it a lot. Okay, I'm gonna have to tail a couple of these because I'm not good game to game, so I might throw a couple of those Wednesdays, but kind of like the maybe the pen sprinkle.
I think there's a chance. I thought it was going to go to seven, so um definitely need some wins for the Pens right now. So I like that, and maybe they just get that momentum going.
Okay. All right, sweet. All right, well, let's move on to NBA. Let's see. There are a lot of games going on today, so that does not help us a lot in this department. But we've got Orlando Magic and the Pistons and Phoenix and Thunder. So I've got three picks for you for Wednesday. I've got Magic plus 8.5. They did just beat the Pistons in game one. I'm sure the Pistons will be pissed off, but Paolo, Franz Wagner's back, Desmond Bain hitting, Jalen Suggs been playing good ball. So give me the plus 8.5 at minus 102 for the Magic. Don't think they'll end up winning this game, but I think they'll be able to keep it within eight. I think it should be maybe like a 3 to 6 point game. So yeah, and I like if you want to put the Pistons, I guess, in a money line parlay, great. But after the way the Magic looked and handled them, not with ease, but handled them in general, looks like it's
See,
going to be Cade scoring 55 points, and then they're going to struggle to find a way to get points generated from everyone else. Typical NBA stuff where you just let one guy go. You say, hey, you can score all the points you want, but no one else is going to score. So you got to have that next man up. And they've got a lot of good defensive players. They've got a couple decent shooters, a lot of good big men, but I don't know if they have someone not like a Cade. He's an MVP level player right now. But I don't think they're going to have a guy that's going to be able to step up and really take over that scoring load and helping out Cade. So give me the Magic plus 8.5 there.
I
And then
love it.
the Thunder are just on a fucking tear right now. I don't like their minus 17 and a half full game spread, but I do like their first half minus 10 and a half. Could end up getting closer towards the end. Wouldn't be surprised if they covered it, but I'm going to take the first half, and I think they're just going to come out and smack them in the mouth at home and then kind of ease off the brakes. And, it might be like a 14-point game, is what I see more realistic. So give me the 10 and a half. They'll be up and just kind of take their foot off the brake. And then that also being said, uh, Thunder's defense has been great all season, was great last year. Don't expect anything to change there. And the Suns, they've got Devin Booker and some, good scores there. Jalen Green's great too. However, I don't think that they will get to 99 points. And so I have team total under 98 and a half for the Suns at minus 123.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yep.
Suns are such a weird team, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the Suns look terrible in their one playoff playing game and then handled the Warriors with ease. They're just not consistent enough right now. So those are the picks for Wednesday. I've got one, two, three, four series props. One, first one's pretty chalky, but like you said, on the NHL front, money line series props aren't really great odds. So I parlayed the Nuggets to beat the Wolves and the Pistons to beat the Magic. That's plus 116 on a parlay. So, uh, games are going to be back and forth, but I do like Pistons eventually to get out of that series. They are the one seed for a reason, so I hope that they're able to get through. Another one I like, even though the Knicks won game one and the Hawks won game two in Madison Square, all tied at one, I think this was a nice kick in the mouth for New York. They're going into Atlanta. It's going to be tough to play in Atlanta. I think Atlanta can get one at home, and then I think the Knicks kind of take care of business and they win the series 4-2. They could win 4-1 after this smack in the mouth, but I think the Knicks will bounce back. Minus 1.5 on the series spread. So 4-2, 4-1. That would get you plus 160. So
Oh,
I like that there.
I do like that.
Uh, let's see. I got Cavs to sweep the Raptors at plus 165. They've looked very dominant. James Harden is playing. He does what he does. He kind of chills during the regular season and playoffs come to town, and he doesn't have to be the star guy. So Mitchell can kind of take that load, and playing against that second man helps Harden. So give me that sweep. And
Yeah.
then the last one is series is tied 1-1 right now. Been a good back and forth, but give me Wolves and the Nuggets to go to 7 games. So I know I said Nuggets to win and this to win. I'm a little contradicting myself here, but I think the Nuggets tend to kind of take games off, and I like Anthony Edwards in that matchup. They played a few times in the playoffs now. So plus 150 to go to game 7.
Mm, okay.
Yeah. Any other NBA stuff you're looking at? I was looking at Thursday's odds I don't really love. Um, because guys, they're playing tonight. So I don't try not to go too crazy with that. I mean, I guess maybe Nuggets money line minus 122 on Thursday night.
Um,
And
I'm
Knicks money line minus 108.
Yeah. Did you mention? And sorry, I was kind of zoning out while looking for stuff to talk about. Lakers, Rockets. That's
Not mention them because they're playing tonight.
well, so series winner, Lakers plus 185.
Yeah, but no Luca, no Austin Reeves right now. I mean,
And KD's not playing, right? Or is he back tonight?
they're saying he's back. I'm waiting to get the confirmation. But I think they still win that. I still think they win the series. I just don't know if LeBron's got enough in the tank, and I know Reeves isn't gonna play.
We look good game one.
Yeah, Luca could come back, but yeah, that one I'm kind of not touching just because I don't really know a whole lot of on the injuries, and you never know with the LeBron. But if you want to sprinkle plus 180, that's not a bad idea.
I might. I can't. I mean, I can't bet against LeBron. Got to bet on him. I think
Yeah.
plus 200 is a little tasty too, but I don't think tasty enough.
Okay. Fair. Fair. Yeah. No, I mean, to your point, I'm not doubting them, but I'm also just gonna stay away.
All
So
right.
for that reason. But looking forward to it. Let's see. If I had to guess, it's probably gonna be Thunder Celtics uh for the NBA Finals. Also pretty chalky. I would love to see the Spurs in there instead, but the West is going to be very tough between Spurs, Thunder, and the Nuggets. Um, there. I don't think Lakers or Rockets will make too much noise, but yeah. And then East, I don't think there's anyone beating Celtics with Tatum back.
Right. Nope. Agreed.
Yep. So that's it for NBA, NHL, unless there's anything else you have before we get to the NFL draft in Pittsburgh. We're going to talk through the first 16 picks. I'm going to throw out some odds that I've been kind of scouring the internets for, even though we can't bet them in Virginia. There are markets out there for it. Prize Picks might be one, but I've not had the chance to check that. So, do first 16 picks of our kind of mock draft, talk through those different picks, some trade back candidates as we get to those spots. We're going to talk those props, like I said. And then, of course, it's a Packers Bears podcast, just as much as
Hmm.
it is a sports betting podcast. So we're going to talk a little bit at the end about our two teams, what we want to see from there, maybe some guys that might be in positions to draft, maybe a wish list, more or less, I guess is the easiest way to put it. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. I don't have any, is there any like outside storylines or anything that you're hearing or seeing or teams are trading, anything that you've seen? Because I haven't done too much. So other,
Honestly,
I was gonna say other than the Bengals Giants trade, with the Bengals trading for the 10th spot, sending Dexter Lawrence to Cincy. So now you've got Giants with 5 and 10. So excited to talk their options and what they could do.
yeah. No, I haven't really seen anything. I think there's a couple things in my mind that I'm like, well, maybe they could do this and this that might be messing with me, but I know we don't really want to talk about that because that's just hypothetical. But yeah, no, I think we got a pretty fun draft ahead of us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, even as someone whose team does not have a first round pick. But excited to see what happens there. Maybe Green Bay trades up into the first. I doubt it, but new era. Seems like with post Rodgers, and we're getting Golden in the first round last year, so starting to make some moves for J Love. So not Jeremiah, Jordan.
Mhm. Yep.
Be the last time, it won't be the last time you hear Jordan Love's name, but uh, for a
All right.
little bit. How about that?
Fair. We'll take it.
Cool. All right. Well, I don't think we need to spend really much time talking about number one. I think everyone knows Mendoza's there. I think it's minus 1 million, like actually 1 million minus 1 million at that pick is going to be done. But instead of just talking about what we think, how do you think Mendoza fits in with Vegas with the Kirk trade? And what do you think about Vegas for Mendoza?
Yeah, no, I think it is kind of weird. It's almost like the Falcons doing that and then drafting Penix and everyone was shitting on him, but slightly different. Kirk is still getting a buttload of money.
Yep.
Uh, but I think they're they have similar game. Mendoza is obviously a little more mobile and but I think Fernando can learn a lot from Kirk. It will be interesting to see when that switch happens and just got a random pop-up shit. Sorry. Um, but I think it's a good fit. I think it'll all work out. They need to get a little more offensive weapons, I think. I don't know if they still have Jacoby Myers, right?
Yep, I believe so.
I think that's pretty much their only weapon.
Yeah.
Well, they got Brock, but and Meyer, but yeah, I think they need to build around that offense, and I think they can get something going for sure.
Trying to see if they signed anyone else. I mean, they got Linderbaum, so new center. And then, I mean, Jalen Naylor would be the new
Yeah.
guy. And actually, they do not have Jacoby Myers anymore.
Oh, all right. Well,
He's on the Jaguars. I think he
mm,
went, yeah.
gotcha. That's right.
But overall, solid little squad. Genty, Mendoza, Brock Bowers. Just got to get some wide receiver help there. They signed a bunch of guys on the defense. So interested to see how that works.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Um,
it'll be
yeah. Yeah, I'm not like super sold on him like compared to other number one picks, you know. Like I would take Jaden Daniels over Mendoza and that. You know, like there's things like Cam Ward probably would have taken over too. But Cam Ward still wasn't, I don't know that I like him and I think it's a good pick, but he wouldn't have been one in other drafts. He might have been in this one, but some of the other drafts before him. So I digress.
and he's got Brady also, Mendoza. So
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. I'm excited. I mean, I want to see the Raiders do well. I kind of just feel bad for them at this point, you know. So,
yeah.
moving on to number two. Who do you got for the Jets taken? And also, we're just going to assume no trades at least. We'll talk about teams that could trade or things that we could see, but in terms of just mocking.
Yeah. I like Ruben Bain from Miami. Uh, I don't know what kind of you don't want to reach really at that point offensively. I think you kind of just build up a little, build up your defense even more. And I think he's a fucking stud.
Yeah, I feel like he could end up. I don't know if he'll go to, but based on his production, he probably should. Um, and that's like, what is it? His arm length isn't what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they say he's got short arms.
but I do like that. I put David Bailey from Texas Tech. That's what I'm at least seeing a lot of. Um,
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Same, but I think they're gonna. I mean, I think we both agree that they're gonna go get an edge or something like that.
Right.
Some pass rusher. I wouldn't. I think whoever Bain goes to, which obviously I will get to him later, my pick. But I think whoever gets him is gonna get a steal.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think he's a beast.
Boom. Okay. Okay. And then we'll talk about the Jets later, and they just need a lot. So I don't think they'll trade back. If there's not a second quarterback that is worthy of trading up, and I don't think anyone's gonna in that first couple, I don't see anyone trading up just to get their guy unless someone is that worried about Jeremiah Love going to Tennessee at 4. That's like the only thing I could see for them.
Right.
So I like that, and they have 16 as well. So
Right.
okay, so you've got Bain, I've got Bailey. Where are you going with number 3?
I'm gonna go Sony Styles. Uh,
Okay.
he had an insane combine, and I know he definitely climbed. This might be a little reach. I know they kind of need a few other things before. They could definitely go a lineman. They could go. guy from Miami or Utah, but I think Sonny Styles is one of those guys that just kind of a freak of nature and can do it all. Like he'll just be running around. So I don't hate that pick at three.
Okay. It's funny because we obviously agree on Mendoza, and then both these last two picks between Jets and Arizona uh, were on the same in terms of position, just different player. And I'm going with Arbel Reese. I love Sonny Styles. I think where I have him slotted, he's more versatile. Arbel Reese, people are worried about this bend or kind of what he's looking at, whether he can be outside linebacker. If he's only going to be an inside linebacker, are you going to really take him at three, which is kind of where you do the Styles and Arvell Reese conversation. Arvell Reese is a little bit better of he's more of a outside linebacker, inside linebacker, and Styles is kind of like your linebacker can play outside, but I think he could even play like a rover safety kind of deal.
Yeah,
Uh,
Saber.
or Saber, thank you. Not a rover. Saber. So I like that there, but once again, not really going with necessarily what I think should happen and kind of my favorite players, at least in these two picks. Going
Mhm.
with what I'm seeing on a lot of boards. So going with Arvell Reese there.
No, I
I don't
like
think
that.
you can go wrong with Bain, Bailey, Reese, or Styles, to be honest with you. I think that this top 10, or maybe I'd say, yeah, I'd probably say top 10. This top 10 is really strong. Kind of starts tapering out after that. But I think this top 10 is everyone's really strong there.
Agreed.
Yep. We both going love on number four?
Yep, of course.
Yeah.
Dude, him and Cam Ward, oof,
Yeah.
that'd be so sick.
They could use an O line. They could trade back and get another O line, but you get Love, Cam Ward, Tony Pollard is your second back. He's did great as a second back to Zeke in Dallas, making the most of all his carries. Love's going to be more of a pass catcher. Uh, so you get the Gibbs and Montgomery. Not going to complain about that. They signed a bunch of guys on offense and defensive line. Um, in the free agency, a lot of corners. So uh, I'm with you there. I think that's a good fit and would be a great pick. While I'm at it, so I don't have to rip off a bunch of props later. Love to number four with Tennessee is -110, or -125, depending on the book. BetMGM is -125. I think the score ESPN bet is -110.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yep.
All right.
And
No,
then I'll read out. Let me just look through. There's a couple other ones that are related to the guys that some of the guys we've already talked about. Sonny Styles under 5.5 for his like drafting position. So
that
five,
means
you
1 through 5.
yep, 1 through 5. That's +115, which I really like there.
Yeah.
I've got him. I'll talk less about it, but I've got him at number five. Going to the Giants at +185. And then Arvell Reese is +200 to go, number three. So those are kind of the ones that I wrote down that are related to guys that we have talked about.
Yep. And I have Reese going 5.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So basically just swapping
We
those.
just swapped it. Yep.
Reese and Styles. Yep. Okay. I like it. So yeah, I'll read out other ones as they come in. I'm just making sure there's nothing else that's been. Nope, that's it. All right, cool. On to number five. I already said it. We kind of segued into it, so it wasn't like I was jumping ahead too far. But yeah, Sonny Styles, number five. I think that would be a huge pick. I think they would be all over that. They get a guy who can play a lot of different positions.
Him
And
and Thibodeau.
what's up?
Him and Thibodeau.
Oh yeah, him and Thibodeau, Brian Burns as well. So you got Sonny Styles in the middle, you've got Burns on one side, Thibodeau on the other. Unfortunately, you wish you could have. Oh, you could have had Dexter Lawrence and still had your 10th pick, and that would be a scary thought. You had Styles. in the middle. You get those two on the outside, and Dexter Lawrence. That'd be a tough little diamond right there to deal with. But not the case. Who did you go for five again?
I went
Oh, Arvell Reese.
yep.
So team concept.
Yep, definitely. But yeah, I don't hate that at all. They're slowly building. And if they keep 10, they can definitely, not the foreshadow, but get a pretty solid offensive guy to help dart out.
Yep. Yeah. They can go a lot of different ways. I do like your point, and we can talk about it now, I guess, because we'll just go through the pick at 10, but very good trade candidate spot at 10.
Yeah,
There's wide receivers are going to start flying off the board around then. There might be an offensive lineman or two, or maybe even a pass rusher that kind of slips down that way, and could easily see a team trading up to get their guy.
for sure.
Especially when you got Miami at 11, who desperately need a wide receiver. Baltimore could get one, Carolina could get one, Tampa Bay would probably not, and then you got the Jets at 16. Um, so could even see the Jets and the Giants make a trade there.
Right.
But yeah, so we'll see what's available at pick 10 when we get there. But tell me who you got at number six going to Cleveland.
I got Francis Goa
Mhm.
from Miami, the tackle.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely need to get some protection in there.
Yeah, I feel like in all the odds and also like team needs and things like that, wide receiver is their biggest need. I I there's in my opinion, there are maybe three wide receivers that I would pick between 10 and 15, but I would not pick in the top 10. Okay, 11 to 15, but not in the top 10. One I did mock in the top 10, but I think it's more of a necessity than anything. So,
Yeah, I would agree.
and I don't necessarily agree with that either. It's just I think there's three teams that could take this guy in the top 10, and one of them probably will. And I don't agree with it, but I think realistically, Tyson, Lemon, and Tate are like 11 to 20. Um, but wide receiver starting to be a premium now, as we're
Yeah.
seeing. So, by the way, I also agree with you on Mawago. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
we're
with you there. That was the long-winded answer and reason why I've got them taking a tackle. You get the best tackle at six. You don't have to trade up, do anything crazy. They have picked 24, and we're gonna just mock to 16, but there's a couple guys I'll just say now that I like that could go there, like Amari Cooper potentially. Uh, could go there. He might go higher, but he could be there at 24. Denzel Boston could be there at 24. Um, so you got a couple wide receiver options that you can take later in the first round, get your O line fixed up. And because whoever's going to play QB, whether it's Shadur or any other guys that they sign or draft in the next couple of years, you want to at least have an O line built up before they get there.
yeah, no, for sure. You said Amari Cooper, and I was like, wait, what? But
Oh, well, it is Omari Cooper.
Omar Cooper from
Oh, Omar
Arizona?
Cooper. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Omar Cooper.
Like, wait, we're talking trades. Yeah, no, agreed, no. Um, for
But I
sure.
also have them as a trade back candidate, even though they've got 6 and 24. Like if they could trade with like, I don't know, if someone's worried about Carnell Tate flying off the board to Washington, New Orleans, or Kansas City, who all need wide receivers, Cleveland could get a king's ransom for whoever they think is going to be the number one wide receiver, like a Miami, like a Rams who don't really care about picks. Like they could package 13th and some other picks and trade up to get their wide receiver.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with Puka.
Yeah, I mean even the Jets if they wanted to use 16. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's a lot going on. I mean, you got Puka there, Devontae's getting old. Tutu Atwell is a great third or fourth wide receiver. That's about it. So, okay. Um, Moving on to Washington, I've been canvassing all my Commanders fans leading up to the draft. They do not want to go wide receiver at Carnell Tate at 7. Do you have that, or do you have some getting someone else?
I got them have I got Caleb Downs falling right into their lap, dude. I
Oh,
think if they fucking have the chance to get him, they better grab him. He's gonna be a stud. They need a beast in the secondary. That was a big hole for them last year, I feel like. And fucking beautiful pick. And I think he does. I don't think anyone else really is gonna grab him.
no, I think that would be a perfect spot, unless for some reason the Giants, like let's say they didn't like Arvell Reese, which
True.
now they would take that. Let's say Reese goes, Style goes, and David Bailey's there. Maybe they don't take a David Bailey at 5, and maybe they go Downs instead. But that's if Styles and Reese are gone. But I don't see them. I don't see both of them being gone by 5.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I wrote down for Washington. I wrote Love if he's there, comma uh, Downs if not, if neither, trade back. Yeah,
Hmm.
just accumulate some picks because they got a lot of holes to fill, and I think they don't necessarily need O line. They need some defense. Corners, I wouldn't take any of the corners at 7.
No.
Downs can play safety, and he could come in and play saber, I guess is the term. Um, as I'm
Term for Cosby.
Yeah, no, I think that's a pretty common term. I just played soccer and basketball and golf. Well, kind of golf. So I like that. Love Downs. I have Downs going as well based on all those things.
Yep.
It would be stupid not to take him.
Yeah, agreed.
But as we know Washington to be, new ownership could be different, but previous ownership would absolutely be Carnell Tate at 7.
Yeah.
That'd be a bad pick. Him and McLaurin would be sick, but I just don't know. I'm not super sold on, like, I like Jackson Smith and Jigba for Seattle way, way more than I did Carnell Tate, and he's not getting picked. I don't think Smith and Jigba got picked in the top 10. I think he was right outside or something. He might have even been in the 20s.
I'm
Um,
gonna say like 11.
was he 11?
That's his number, but
Quick.
I'm trying. No, you're right. 20th. Damn.
Yeah, 20th. Yeah. Which is crazy. So like he went 20th. Who's the other wide? I mean, Garrett Wilson went pretty high, but I feel like that's
And then
Garrett Wilson
Olave
kind of
went 12, I think.
Olave. Yeah, he went 12 to New Orleans. I would take every single one of those guys over Carnell Tate personally. Obviously now, but I'm saying like during the draft, I would have still taken them over them.
Fair.
I just I don't know.
I think, dude, he's made some crazy plays.
Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he has. He has. Maybe it's because I've been more focused on Jeremiah Smith. I think that's probably why, to be honest. And they're just so loaded that I'm just like, okay, I don't know who's the good wide receiver. But you also have Tate's been there with, I think he was there with Smith and Jigba. He was there with Marvin Harrison Jr. as well. So he hasn't really, and then Jeremiah Smith. So it's like he hasn't been able to be the number one guy. Um,
He always has been in the shadow.
Jigba, yeah, and Jigs Smith and Jigba was kind of similar, so could
Mhm.
could end up being good. But I'm not taking them at 7 when you got Downs and maybe Styles or guys. Even Bain would be a good one. So yeah,
But I am gonna take him at 8.
Cardinals. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna take him at 8 to the Saints because the Saints. Yeah, yeah. All of that to say, Carnell Tate will not get out of the first round, whether I agree with it or not. New Orleans just absolutely needs him. They, man, if he's there at 8, they're definitely going to take him. I think they're basically between Love or Tate.
They
Like,
love the Ohio State guys.
yep, him and Olave would be great for Shuck. You got to give him some weapons while he's still young and he's on like a cheaper contract. Um, Running back isn't terrible there. I think they got Devin Neal should be back from injury, And then I think they just signed someone, didn't they?
Have a look at.
Oh, they signed Etienne.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so they have Etienne and Kamara. Get you a wide
And
receiver.
Modric estimate.
Yep. And their offensive line isn't bad. It's not like they could take one there. You can always use good linemen, but I think, yeah, you add Tate. Juwan Johnson's been a great tight end, so I feel like getting a second wide receiver so that Olave is not double and triple teamed, I think will be huge. And we'll kind of just, whether I agree with it and he's worth 8 or not, he's still probably going to go in the top 10.
Agreed.
Okay, so we have agreed on the last 3 picks. There is no way we can agree on this pick because you have already selected this guy. But would it not be the most Kansas City Chiefs thing to get a top 10 pick and be able to get a guy like Ruben Bain at 9 who slides just a little bit? And because he's got short arms, he goes to Andy Reid in Kansas City and just is the next Chris Jones for the next 15 years? Yeah,
And he's got Chris Jones for maybe 1 or 2 more seasons to teach him the ways.
exactly. That was all I could think about was, man, if this guy could get mentored by Chris Jones and then get to play on this Kansas City Chiefs team, phew, their defense is already good. Or it wasn't great this year. It was really good last year and the year before.
They
But
were a very funky team this year.
yeah, I feel like the whole team was just weird. Mahomes, I think before he actually got hurt, I feel like he was on and off injured, whether he said it or not.
Kelsey didn't look right. He just looked
Kelsey. Yeah, Kelsey didn't look great. Rashi Rice missed a few games, so it took him a while to get going. They didn't have the best running back situation. Now they've got Kenneth Walker. It was either Bain or Love, and I was like, it's gonna be the most Chiefs thing. Love won't fall that far, but Bain might, and I have them going 9 with him at Kansas City, and that would be a sick pick for them.
Yep. And I've got David Bailey.
Okay. They that's how good this top 10 is. And then you got some guys who might reach on some people, but I mean, Boehner, Bailey, so we have the same 2 and 9. We have the same 2 people for those 2 picks. Just swap them.
Yeah. Yeah, had the same exact thing. That's
Yep.
crazy. Yeah,
And so moving on to 10 then. We talked about the Giants. We talked about them trading back at this 10th. We've already talked through options and teams they could trade for. If they don't trade back, who do you have?
Lemon.
Yeah, I really wanted to do lemon too, but I didn't.
Dude,
Uh,
that's because is neighbor back? Is he gonna be back? Because what did he do? Like his Achilles or whatever?
yeah, something like that. And Wandale went to Tennessee.
Hmm.
So you have that.
I think that would be sick.
That would be sick. That actually is a great pick. I went defense, um, because I didn't know if they wanted to reach. I truly do think they'll trade back. To be honest with you, unless they love one of these wide receivers, and that they would probably made a trade for 10 to do that, because then they can go get their either O line or defense, how depending on who falls where. But yeah, I went with a little bit of a reach, but I think it would be really good value. And in this league, with all the wide receivers we're talking about, you need corners, and so I went Mansour Delane from LSU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to go Downs. I wanted to go Downs and Styles. I think in a perfect draft, if Downs is there at 10 somehow,
Hmm.
and wide receivers just start snaking off the board, and Washington, let's say Washington takes Tate, and then New Orleans goes and takes, wide receiver. All of a sudden, like you got 3 wide receivers in those picks, or you go Tate and Lemon, and then you've got Bain for my example. Um, so it's like, all right, who's the best available guy after that? Could go Fano, but yeah, Delane. I think he would be a good corner to have for them.
Yeah, no, definitely. They could definitely use a little help in that secondary. Well, Speaking of Delane, I got him going to the Dolphins at 11.
I basically so okay. I was gonna say so we basically have the same two there. I have Delane going 10. I have Lemon going 11. I don't know if maybe it was more optimistic in making my mock draft easier because I was like, okay, let's go Delane because I know Miami really needs a wide receiver. So the only thing I'll say about Miami is they also could trade back because they have so many holes. I could see it, but they desperately need a wide receiver. They just got rid of Waddle. They got rid of Tyreek Hill's a free agent still. We're waiting to see where he signs. Uh,
Mhm.
dude, I saw some shit to the Bears. Tyreek Hill to the Bears, and I was like, that would fucking blow. I don't think that would happen. I don't think he would go to Green Bay. I could see him going back to Kansas City, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that low key.
Yeah. The only thing is he's not going to play with Mahomes this year, so it's like maybe you play a year, you just sign like a 1 year deal with LA. I don't know, just like a contender, like a Niners or something. And you just say, hey, I'm going to go 1 year here, and then my plan is to go back to Kansas City after that when Mahomes is healthy and we can get a full season. And then he can end in KC.
True.
Would be he's not one for storybooks, but that would be a storybook way for him to go out.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool.
Okay. Let's see. Looking at number 12, then we got Dallas. Where are you going with Dallas?
Um, Kind of a tough pick.
Yep.
I just went CJ Allen from Georgia, linebacker.
Mhm.
Um, I know they need a little D line and some secondary, but I think he's probably their best pick, especially just defensive wise.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I like that too. I feel like he might get picked higher than people think, and it'll be like, what the hell? And then he'll go just destroy in Dallas and be super nasty.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I went the cornerback route. Ideally I think they could trade back. They traded for with Cleveland. Or no, they have the Packers 20th pick. Sorry, I thought they traded. Um they have the Packers pick at 20. So two things. They could use both those picks and trade up higher into the draft, which I could see them doing that. Like let's say you don't want to trade with Washington and give them a bunch of picks, but
Right.
if Downs is there at 7, why not give them 12 and 20 and just call it a day? Uh,
Very.
or 12 and other things. They have Packers next year first as well.
Or even look you Browns and jump Washington.
Yeah, that could be also an option. And yeah. I actually, that's funny you mentioned that because one of the mocks I was looking at today had them doing that, had Cleveland trading up or trading back with Dallas.
Oh, really?
Can't remember I think it was Downs or Sonny Styles or something. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. Or maybe it was Bain. It was one of those three, uh,
Mhm.
which I like a lot. But I'm going Gerard McCoy, corner from or Jermod McCoy, corner from Tennessee. He's been climbing up the boards a little bit. Dallas needs some defensive help. Not really a great pass rusher at this option, so I just went with the best defensive player available. But I do like CJ Allen as well. I think you can't go wrong either way.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, McCoy's nice.
Let's see. Number 3, the Rams could go a couple ways. Could go wide receiver, could go offensive line. They need both of those. Could go corner. Not in my book, just based on me having two of the top corners go right before them, but where you got the Rams going here.
I got Monroe Freeling from Georgia, tackle.
Okay.
Um, you know, like Stafford's getting a little older. You gotta get a little more protection on him. Then just Georgia produces just absolute dogs. No pun intended, but yeah, I don't. No reason you shouldn't take a Georgia lineman or a Georgia linebacker, and when they're there, they're there. So. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I went same position, different player. I went Spencer Fano from Utah. I think I have Freeland going shortly after. But just based on odds, I feel like Fano might be the next one.
Yeah,
Get get Stafford some help. Hopefully Puka's stuff sorts out. And if you have your seven tight ends between Parkinson and all those guys, and then you have Devontae and Puka, I think you're set there. And then you got Corman, Williams in the backfield. So if you can establish more of a run game by getting a better offensive line, why not? They've been having struggles with that since Stafford's been there. They've been with random dudes at tackle. So I think both of us are on the right thought process with that.
for sure.
Okay. Okay. Number 14, Baltimore. Could go a couple different ways. Could go fun offense, could go not so fun offense. Don't know if they're going to necessarily go defense because they're pretty loaded on defense.
They are. They were a weird team last year. I think they need a little more protection for Lamar, so I'm gonna have them getting that Penn State guard.
Same.
Ione? Ione?
Yep. Yep. I got the same pick.
Yeah. I mean, they lost
Linder.
Lynn. Yeah, Linderbaum went to Raiders, so they lost him. So I think it's a great fill.
Yeah. And they got Trey Hendrickson. I mean, obviously, you'd probably rather have Max Crosby, but you get Trey Hendrickson and then you go get Iwane. Not a bad consolation prize.
Nope, not at all.
All right, moving on since we agree. Number 15, I'm going to take the lead, but I wouldn't be surprised if you agreed with me here. He's going to be the first tight end off the board. Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon. Guy, statistically, not what you want in a top 15. Granted, he's not Tyler Warren at like, what did he go? I think Tyler Warren went, he might have gone 14. I think he was between 10 and 14 for Indy. Uh,
Yeah.
you've seen some of these other tight ends go early. I don't necessarily know if I think he's going to be immediate impact like a Brock Bowers or Tyler Warren, but at 15, you've got your wide receiving core pretty set. You've got Baker there, you got Bucky, and you got Rashad White. Offensive line, I could see them going like Monroe Freeland, but they really need interior offensive line because they've got Wirfs and can't remember the other tackle. But they're pretty set at tackle. So I could see them going Monroe Freeland, but I think since he's a bigger dude, I don't think they go that route. And Kenyon Sadiq just you got Kadon and Kenyon Sadiq. I know Mike Evans just left, but I just don't see them going with like a Jordan Tyson right here.
No, I think it's perfect. I think him and Baker are just going to be fucking rolling together. I love a future offensive rookie of the year for Sadiq.
Okay.
Absolutely agree with you. Uh,
Okay.
it's going to be great.
Nice, nice. And we can talk other picks, but or we could talk about options or maybe some other things in these later picks. But for full on mock, we'll just end it here at the Jets. I've got them going Jordan Tyson from Arizona State. I think they need a wide receiver to pair with Garrett Wilson. Whoever the next QB is, it's going to be Gino for this year. Who knows for the years to come? I think you get that base set. There's a lot of ways it could go. Monroe Freeland's probably not bad either. Again, um, but Jordan Tyson being there at 16, feel like he could slip a little bit with some of the injury concerns, but talent potential wise, he could exceed Tate and Lemon. Don't know if he necessarily will, but he has the potential to do it. We've seen him with some really good quarterbacks, and he just didn't have the best year. He got hurt this year, so we'll see there. But that's where I'm going at 16. What say you?
No, I do like that a lot. I was battling between that, what D. Enman from Oregon
Yeah.
or McCoy from Tennessee because he was still available for me. I ended up going McCoy just because I think, he's probably the best secondary guy available and around there for, I think it's a steal for 16. So had that
Yeah.
going. But Tyson was right there. I mean, as a Big 12 guy, I watched him make some incredible plays. So if they get him, I think that'll be huge. Is it still going to be Fields? Or no, they brought Geno back.
Yeah, they brought Geno back. Fields is with Kansas City now.
Oh shit. Damn.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hopefully Geno doesn't get punched in the face by Ruben Bain.
Yeah. I mean, you probably should be okay, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. All
Yeah.
right. Damn. I had a Celtics halftime full-time play in a parlay, and that is already dead. Motherfuckers.
Philly's winning.
Yeah, Philly's winning by they're leading by 8 right now. It's okay. I got Cubs first 5 innings. They got the bases loaded, one out in the bottom of the third, so we'll see how that goes. And then just some random NBA stuff sprinkled in here. Um,
Phillies are rolling right now, baby. I thought we were dead.
I know they really are rolling.
I want to
Uh,
jinx it though.
so we'll see there. All right, the Yankees are losing or the Yankees are winning. God damn it! So I don't listen to some of the cappers. I listen to the cappers one day and I just lose a bunch of money.
Baseball is very hard.
It is very hard. I know we said we do through 16. Is there any like maybe picks in the second round, non-Bears, maybe that you're intrigued by, or maybe that you're like, ooh, if they could get this guy here.
Second
Um,
round or second half of the first round.
Second half of the first round.
Um, no, nothing really grabs at my brain. I think you mentioned him earlier. I mean, Omar Cooper, I think could be a nice snack for someone a little later. Um, even like the Chiefs getting him at 29, like would be something you'd be like, of course.
Yeah, that would be very, yeah. I actually have Cooper going 19 to Carolina in mine.
Okay. Ooh,
But I could see him slipping. But yeah, Carolina would be a nice fit there.
yeah, no, it'd be very nice. They're
And then
just snacking up wide receivers.
no, and then I've got Miami at 30 with that Broncos pick. I got Miami going Denzel Boston. So I've got 5 wide receivers in the first round.
Damn. Okay.
You know what's crazy though, Max, is that BetMGM has a prop that total wide receivers drafted in the first round. I have a under 5.5 at plus 135. And that is because I have Carnell Tate at 8, Miami getting Lemon at 11, Tyson going 16 to the Jets, Cooper going 19 to the Panthers, and then Denzel Boston going 5 or going being the fifth, going 30. I don't see any other wide receivers getting drafted in the first round. So, if
I
I can
don't
find a market or a person to do it, then I will do it.
uh Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M by way of NC State could sneak in there too, dude.
Yeah, to your point, the Kansas City, that 29th pick is basically what, if I bet that, if I end up betting that, that's what I'll be sweating, is that 29th pick. Because I don't think maybe Boston could go before, but if Boston goes before Kansas City, then I'm in trouble. But I don't have anyone that would draft him. Maybe the Steelers at 21. Maybe the Phillies at 23, but maybe Cleveland at 24. I just don't.
Maybe Buffalo. No, okay.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I know. I didn't think about it until I listed it out.
Some
I don't see necessarily that happening. So that's why I like that plus 135. Uh,
Chargers too.
Pick 17 and 18. And the reason I'm listing them is because they're division rivals. I have Monroe Freeling going to Detroit, which I would fucking hate to see that. And then I got Tieneman, the safety from Oregon, going to Minnesota at 18.
I've got Fano going to Lions.
That would also not be good.
and
You got Sewell and Fano on each side.
that suck.
That would suck. That would suck really bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Vikings kind of could go wherever. Who'd you
Yeah.
say you had them getting?
The who?
The Vikings.
Tiananmen from Oregon.
Yeah, that would be super nice.
Yeah. And
Um,
then I'll get to who I'll tell you when we talk Bears Packers who I picked for the Bears. But the only other I'll give you two picks that I really like. Messidor, the other edge from Miami. So you had Bain on one side, Messidor on the other. Messidor going to Dallas at 20. I think that would be a really if they could get McCoy and Messidor, I think that would be a great step towards rebuilding that defense. The offense they shouldn't touch the fucking offense.
Seriously, yeah. Their
Yeah.
defense was just dog shit last year. It was terrible.
Yeah. And so it was, I mean, they would score 35 points a game, but
Other team would score 38.
dude, it was insane. I mean, it was every game. I mean, they tied the Packers 41-41. They got Javonte Williams at running back who's been playing well. Malik Davis and Jaden Blue didn't play bad either. So it's like, yeah, I'm don't think that they need anything. Maybe offensive line help depending on the depth situation, but I mean, like that Caden Proctor, have him going to Pittsburgh. Like if Dallas picked him there, that would be a good pick. But um the other pick I did want to mention though, was CJ Allen going to Cleveland. I think that would be a great pick for them. I know you have him going to Dallas. So Messidor and CJ Allen would also be great too. Big so yeah, yep. And then the last pick I got Seattle getting TJ Parker, edge from Clemson, who it would be one of those picks where you're like, how do they get more defensive guys? How do they get more good defense? But I feel like they just reload.
Yeah.
And a
Oh,
fun one, not that I picked it, but I've seen it in some mocks, uh, would be it wouldn't be the first time, but it would be not common that Jadarian Price from Notre Dame gets picked at 32 to go with Charbonnet at running back. And you
ooh.
have only two running backs in the first round, and it would be both Notre Dame running backs, which would be crazy. I could
You
see
said,
it. I,
you said it was not the first time it's happened?
no, no, I think there's been some other years. Well, actually, Judkins went second round,
Henderson.
and Trevion Williams went
Or
first. Or
Henderson.
Henderson.
Yeah, you're right.
RBs from, and then Lendale White, Reggie Bush. I'm looking it up.
Hmm.
But yeah, those were my like first
Gahey
mock
Williams.
picks worth mentioning. And I'll mention the Bears one because I like the pick that I mocked them getting, but I don't like it for a Packers fan.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a tough one.
let me see. Running backs from the same college drafted in the first round is rare. Only a few instances, most recently 2008. I won't, I'll give you, you were only 14, so you might not remember, but I will give you the school because it went,
No, conference first.
okay, you want me to make it a little harder. SEC, 2008 was the year.
Uh, Same school. I was gonna say like McFadden. It is McFadden. Damn,
And
the second one. Not Chris Ivory.
nope, you might,
Hmm.
it's a hard one.
Just tell me. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Felix Jones.
Ah, damn. Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, so McFadden and Felix. So it's only happened four times so far. Um, and it happened in 2008, McFadden, Felix Jones. So McFadden, Florida Raiders, Felix Jones to the Cowboys at 22. happened in '05, which I wouldn't expect you to remember this, but I very much remember this team as one of the earlier teams I rooted for. Just like a one season kind of deal. That was the 2005 Auburn team that had Jason Campbell at QB, and at running back they had Ronnie Brown, second overall pick to the Dolphins, and Carnell Cadillac Williams, uh, Bucks at five. So they are the only team to have two running backs in the top 10. Uh,
Mhm.
and then you got SMU, which was Eric Dickerson in '83, who was second overall to the Rams, and Craig James. If you've seen the Pony Excess 30 for 30, he was
Mhm.
drafted. Actually, he was also, oh, he's seventh. Oh, he's seventh overall in the supplemental draft. So I don't know if I count that. Um, and then the third or the fourth time was Penn State in '72. And I don't expect you to know this. I wouldn't have gotten this myself. Franco Harris, you know the name, obviously, went 13th overall, and Lydell Mitchell. But he was in the Okay, that's not actually either. So I think it's only been done two times.
Nice.
Two times not counting supplemental drafts. Because second round, I don't know why they even grouped that in there. So yeah, just the Auburn and Arkansas in '05 and '08.
Nice. I
But
would
yeah,
have one of the Miami teams would have been in there.
yeah, right. Or like Alabama when they had like
Yeah.
I mean, you had New England, who was close with Trevion Henderson first round. He went 32 to the Patriots, and then Judkins went like 10 picks later at like 45.
Uh, right,
Oh, no,
true.
he didn't. I don't even think he was in. He was like 38. Yeah, he wasn't, or 34. No, it
Okay.
was 34. It was 34 is what it
Yeah,
was.
that's crazy.
Because the Browns had like the second pick. So yeah, other than that, there's been some close calls, other things. We could just name a bunch, so we're not gonna do. I'm kind of in that mind space where I'm down to just name random people. But we won't do that. So before we get into Packers Bears, um, I don't really have any first round draft stories aside from what we've already talked about. And the fact that Kansas City has 9 and 29 is bullshit. Dallas had like you've got Jets with two picks, Giants with two picks, Kansas City with two picks, Dallas with two picks. Um, Cleveland with two picks. Yeah, so you've got a ton of teams with multiple picks in this first round. And it's a good draft class in that first round. So let's see. Other props. You can just give me you can feel free to comment on anything that you like, but I'll just kind of list them and tell me what you think. The second wide receiver drafted, and this is all BetMGM for the most part. This one is actually on the ESPN Score Bet app, and it has Jordan Tyson, number two wide receiver picked at -150, Makai Lemon at +600, which I
Mm.
Makai Lemon at +600. I love that value. If
Yeah.
it was like +150, maybe +200, might be more inclined, but Makai Lemon +600, I love that. Let's see. Second O line, and I'm assuming we both agree because we both have Makai Lemon being the second drafted.
Right. Yep.
Um, Second O line drafted. We both agree that Malagoa is going to be first. Fano is +130 for the next offensive lineman drafted. So I love that. I know you have someone going ahead
Yep.
of
Really.
Freeland could be a good one. I don't have the odds up in front of me, but
All good.
um, I just wrote down Fano +130. We both have Downs as the first defensive back drafted at -145, so a little juicy. I think that's a good one.
Still playable.
Yep. Let's see. Mauigoa at numbers to go number 6, which makes me think that Cleveland might trade this pick. But Mauigoa to go number 6 to the Browns is +650.
Damn.
So I am all over that. And Max, I'll raise you one even better. Caleb Downs to go number 7 to Washington. Probably same thing for the odds. They've got Carnell Tate +225, but they've got Caleb Downs +850. to go to Washington at 7.
Ooh, okay. Damn.
Mhm. Yeah. So I like those odds a lot. We both have Tate going 8. That's plus 450 on BetMGM. Let's see. I'm trying to find some other ones that we might agree on. Yuan A at 14 to the Ravens is plus 225. So that's solid. Sadiq to go 15 to Tampa is plus 500.
Okay.
Let's see. This one I like a lot. I know you have Tyson going, or you have Tyson going after 16, right? You don't have him in your top 16, Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I did McCoy.
Yep, okay. Um, so at 16 to go to the Jets, Jordan Tyson is plus 2,500.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know we both
That's
said we were
low.
back and forth on that. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Uh,
crazy.
yeah, it makes me think he's probably going earlier. It's probably going to be like Rams between the Rams, the Saints, Chiefs, maybe the Chiefs. I doubt it, but
Ravens.
yeah, yeah, Ravens. Let's see, Tiananmen to go 18 to the Vikings, which he is the highest odds to like best odds. He's the odds-on favorite to go 18th, and that's plus 275. I think that's some good value there. Omar Cooper to Carolina is plus 1,300. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it for like people to go certain spots. Let's see. Any questions before I keep going?
No, I'm good to just knock out my Bears. I really am super skeptical about the Bears, so I don't have much to say about them. But you guys, I would like to get if they're available.
Okay. Let me read. Let's see. I got a couple more finishing draft positions before we get into that. So,
Okay.
Makai Lemon to go under 15 and a half, like so 15 or higher, is minus 145. It's pretty juicy, but I think I'd be willing to lay a heavy number there. And then Ruben Bain to go under 9.5. I have him going 9 to the Chiefs. You have him going higher than that, minus 140. Same
Ooh,
concept. I think it's right at our juice line, but really, really good odds. Let's see. Rams to draft an O lineman. Doesn't matter who it is, but just them to draft an O lineman plus 225. Their wide receiver is minus 110. But O line's next. I think with who's potentially going to be there, plus 225 is great value. Ravens and Steelers both to draft separate bets, but same odds. Steelers and Ravens both to draft offensive linemen plus 120. So I think those are good.
I like that.
And then, without going too much into detail, Green Bay to draft an O lineman plus 155. If they draft a corner, it's plus 160. I would probably lean O-line, just based on the depth. We just lost a ton of guys, but our cornerback room needs a ton of help. So I'd say it's a coin flip. I'm going to lean O-line at 52. I think someone or other people will fall, and we'll talk about that here in a sec. But any other questions or anything you got from me?
No, sir. As always, I feel like I never know what happens after, the first half. There's so many different things that could happen. So, um,
Yep.
you never know.
Yeah, totally agree with you there. So we don't have to get too crazy with the rest of it. But Max, I'm gonna just lead with what I have for the Bears draft, and then I'm gonna let you just talk about what you want and what you're looking for. I have them getting Caden McDonald, the D lineman from Ohio State at 25, which I think would be unfortunately really good value for them.
No, yep. I like him a lot. I don't know if I really have a stern pick on who I want. He was one I was eyeing. I've seen a lot of Caden Proctor from Alabama, the tackle. I think he can kind of move around. He can be a guard with us losing Dahlman in the offseason. It's very unfortunate, but I think we definitely need to focus on D line or, interior O line. Um, and yeah, I don't, I mean, Terrell wouldn't be bad if he can jump down to 25 um, from Clemson. There's a few guys that I wouldn't hate at all. It's just kind of, well, I'll just see what Poles can do. I wouldn't be surprised if he fucking somehow like traded back or traded up. He always surprises me every draft day, I swear. So it'll be interesting to see. Definitely want to kind of fill that O line hole though. Or I agree with you though. McDonald would be super nice too.
Yep, yep. I think that's fair. Anything that you're looking for in the later rounds, maybe like a guy you're like, oh, if he's there in the second or third, is there anyone specific that you've got?
Um, I mean, low key, like Rodriguez from Texas Tech, I feel like he would be an asset. And I think he's has some holes in his game. But he played fucking great all year. He's had a crazy story. He's got a great story to him, and we could always use some extra linebackers. We lost Edmonds. We brought back Sanborn, which is nice, but I think with our defense, we really do have we rotate injuries for fuck's sake, and it's really annoying. So I think having him would be fucking sick.
Okay. Yeah. I also wrote him down for Green Bay's second round pick, uh,
Mhm.
if he's available. Um, I wrote down this Prignon from Oregon, who's a guard. We need some interior lineman help. And then the other guy is offensive tackle from Iowa, who everyone who's watched the Combine videos or Senior Bowl videos has seen. Ginnings Dunker, the Iowa dude with the mullet, with the crazy mullet.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he would be, I mean, it'd be perfect. You get an Iowa offensive lineman and you have him come down. That would be an ideal situation there.
Next Bulaga.
Yeah, for real, for real. And we even drafted Blag in the first round, so Dunker would be a steal at 52. He's going to be right around there. I could see him going earlier, but that's okay if he does.
They played 57.
Yeah, so they should be okay. Yeah, they pick at 52. Third rounder. Or do you have other stuff for the Bears, or is that okay?
Not really, no. I kind of, yeah. Polls always does very well in the second round, so that'll be fun. But I don't think there's anyone that really
Ye-
sticks out or, I think I just hope he fills the holes.
Yeah, that's fair. I totally get that. Yeah, because I went through, I've been, and also I've been listening to like Packers blogs and podcasts, just trying to get an idea. And I'm almost more invested in what they're doing now than I was when they had the first round picks, just because I'm like, all right, now we got to make the most of these later picks. So I've been
Right.
kind of eyeing who they're going to go with. So yeah, those were the guys for that round two pick. Round three, my wish list would be a corner or safety, specifically Muhammad from Texas, D'Angelo Pons from Indiana by way of JMU. And then there's a couple guys like Abney and Stukes from Arizona State and Arizona. Round four, looking at our depth chart, we've got Jordan Love, Desmond Ritter, and Kyle McCord. And I think Kyle McCord could actually end up being a pretty solid, third rounder for or third draft pick or sorry, third, definitely good third QB. I think he could pass Ritter as well.
Mhm.
But There's this guy that I watched on the John Gruden QB camp, and you see his combine numbers. It's Taylon Green from Arkansas. Ran a 4.3, had a stupid combine. Wasn't insanely successful at Arkansas, but I think given his tools and the offense that Matt LaFleur runs, I think that he could end up being maybe a nice little addition into the backfield. He could be our next Malik Willis. I know we didn't draft him, Willis, but could see that. You guys know more than anyone other than Packers fans that Jordan Love is not consistently the most durable quarterback in the NFL. So
Hmm.
got to have someone that can push Ritter. I swear to God, if I see fucking Ritter get rolled out there because McCord and or fourth to seventh round QB can't push him to be better, I will lose my fucking mind. I'm not gonna watch Desmond Ritter. It's they get the same fucking back. They get Brett Hundley. They get fucking um, Deshaun Kaiser. Shout out Notre Dame, but they get all these quarterbacks that are very. Desmond Ritter's very similar to those two.
Yep.
Um, and so I think you go get Taylor Green. I think he's got a boatload of potential. The other QB that I'm hearing a lot about is Cole Payton, the North Dakota State QB. He's also right around that fourth. So I could see us drafting a QB fourth. So I had that. Uh, it gets, obviously starts to get dwindled down as I go through the rounds. Round five, Malik Benson, super speedy wide receiver from Oregon would be nice. Or a linebacker if we haven't taken Rodriguez. If we don't take Rodriguez at 52, if he's there. So I think linebacker should be a pretty deep position in round five, at least for compared to the other positions.
Right.
Other round five pick, I like Michael Taffy or from Texas. Uh, Safety, little white dude. He's pretty solid. I think he could play a couple different positions. He could maybe even help us out in corner. So I think that's good to have some depth. Round six, I have the Indiana guys, the Indiana fellas. One is a Indiana slash Notre Dame guy, and that's Pat Coogan, the center from Notre Dame, who
Yeah.
went to Indiana, who's a beast. And then Aiden Fisher, the linebacker from Indiana, who went to JMU before. Because if we don't get linebacker by round six, we've got to get it then. I think he would be a steal at six, to be honest. I think he would fit in very well at Green Bay. You go JMU, Indiana, kind of these tougher, smaller schools. You go to a Green Bay where you can just focus on ball.
Yep.
Round seven, I have a few wish lists. Jam Miller, running back from Bama, would be ideal because Jacobs is gone, or Jacobs is there. Sorry, not Jacobs. Emmanuel Wilson is gone. And
Hmm.
so the backup right now is Chris Brooks, who's solid, and then Marshawn Lloyd, who has not been healthy, but we've been
Hasn't touched the field.
hasn't touched the field, driving me nuts. But he's going to be healthy this season, assuming nothing happens in the summer or training camp. So I expect him to come into number two, but I wouldn't mind a Jam Miller running back from Bama to kind of push him. The other thing is if we haven't gone safety, Lorenzo Styles. And this was also more of just a name thing. Lorenzo Styles, Sonny Styles related, yes. Safety from Ohio State, yes. Guess what? He was a wide receiver at Notre Dame at some point in time. Uh, so I like his versatility. Not that we're going to use him at wide receiver, but maybe a safety and maybe he's like a punt returner, special teams guy. Could see that being going well. And then they've
Yeah.
got one more pick in the seventh round, and I have two requests. One, mostly, is a kicker. There should be a good kicker available. You got two picks in the seventh round. If you can't get Jim Miller or Lorenzo Styles, that would be ideal. You get one and two there. You can't get either of them or only one of them. Get a kicker. Get a fucking kicker. McManus, gone. He's gone. The substitute teacher, I cannot remember his name off the top of my head. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Havrasek. Lucas Havrasek. They're both going to probably be gone. Uh, and if McManus is still there, I'm not sure I want to watch the Green Bay Packers anymore. So yeah. So I think you get a kicker in seventh. You have two picks in the seventh, and
Yeah.
255 is like the third to last pick. It's like Green Bay, then Denver gets two picks, and that's the draft. So last pick of the round, one of the last picks, get a kicker. You don't got to deal with that shit. If not, there's a guy named RJ Maryland who's a tight end from SMU. Maybe you remember him from Fantrax a little bit, from our college fantasy league. Good tight end, 6'5", 280, big mamma jamma. He's a good blocker. Musgrave hasn't, he's more of a receiver, and Kraft is a blocker, but we want to keep him healthier. We probably need to keep him off of the blocking a little bit more. Uh,
Mhm.
so yeah, give me RJ Maryland. Those are kind of my wish list. In a perfect world, based on mock drafts I've seen, um, there's a edge rusher from Penn State, Dennis Sutton. It's like Dennis Sutton, uh,
Mhm.
which would be nice. Don't think he'll be there at 52. Avion Terrell, corner from Clemson. I don't have him getting out of the first round, so I don't know why Mel Kiper has actually. You know what? I don't know shit. Neither does Kiper.
Piper doesn't know shit either. No one knows nothing.
Yeah, so Avion Terrell, if he's there at 52 and we don't take him, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. And then the other, there's a linebacker from Texas, Anthony Hill. Don't think he'll be there at 52. And then the last name I wrote down was Jadarian Price. If he's somehow still available at 52, give me Jadarian Price and Josh Jacobs with Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and Matthew Golden, and keep it moving. I'm what I bet you they are more likely to do is trade that 52 pick and some other picks and trade up because they've got, I think it's four second, third, or fourth round comp picks from the free agency this year between Quay Walker, Elton Jenkins, like not Rashawn Gary because they did that trade, but there's like three or four at Malik Willis. So there's three, those are three third round comp picks or second, depending on what happens. So I could see them trading those comp picks and trading up to get some of these guys I'm mentioning, but that's just like in a perfect world. And first round of the draft will be weird for me because I'm used to having a pick. We won't have a pick. But I'll tell you what, I'd much rather have a no pick and have Micah Parsons than have a pick.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
There isn't one player at 20 that I would want over Mike. There isn't a player at 20 next year that I would want. Two
That's
players.
how I felt with Khalil.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to do what you got to do. But that is what it is. And that is the exhaustive NFL draft preview from us.
Yeah, it
All
was good.
righty. It has been a long pod. Max, anything else you want to mention from a sports betting, anything else perspective?
No, man, I don't think so. Just go with your gut on these, NHL and NBA games. Always, kind of think about the home team and those crowds because it really does matter. So
Yep.
bet smart and bet right, and let's make some money.
Let's do it. Thanks everyone for listening. Let's have a good week.
Thanks, guys.